First we want to plug the fibre checker in so we can see what's going on while we work. Next we unscrew the back of the connector and put that onto the fibre. Push it down out of the way for the moment. There's also a rubber sleeve that goes inside the back of the connector. Thread that on as well and push it down out of the way. Next we take the fibre strippers. Now these have 3 holes. We're going to use the centre one to start with, stripping off about 10mm of coating at a time so we don't risk breaking the fibre. The larger hole on the strippers is for optic fibre cable with jackets to strip the jacket off. Now we're going to use the smallest hole and we're going to run it down the length of our stripped fibre. And that is the reason why. See that extra bit of coating that came off? That causes all kinds of issues when we go to cleave the fibre and try to fit it into the connector if we don't get that off. I'll run it through that a couple more times just to make sure I got all of it. Now we give it a good clean with an alcohol wipe. You want to wrap it around the unstripped coating part of the cable and wipe away from you so you don't risk breaking the fibre or stabbing yourself. Do that a few times as well to make sure it's nice and clean. Now it's time to cleave. The cleaver has gradients marked inside it so we can cleave our exposed fibre to the right length. If you find the fibre has a bit of a curve to it, like this one, you can use it to your advantage by pointing the curve downwards as you insert it into the cleaver. Put the flap down to hold it in place. Now we can double check we've got it set to the right length. We want 12.5 to 13mm on these, so we line that up with the number 3, or somewhere between the number 2 and 3. Now cleave by pushing the sliding bolt through. Notice the light went out on the end of the fibre there, so we know the cleave worked. And make sure that bit of offcut goes into a suitable bin. Okay, insert it into the connector. Take it nice and easy. You'll know it's in the right place when you get a good strong light coming out the end. Now hold it there and push the tabs in. Beautiful. Now push that rubber boot into place, if I can find it. That goes inside the back of the connector. And screw the back of the connector on. The final step is to put the cover on. And if it's going to be a while before it gets plugged in anywhere, you can put this little cap back on to protect the end from dust. Job done! First we need to make sure the locking tabs are out. Dintec have this little plastic tool to make this a little bit easier, but fingernails or a small screwdriver will do the job just as well. We prepare and cleave the fibres exactly the same way to 12.5 to 13mm. Insert carefully into the splice one side at a time. Once it's all the way in, you can push the locking tab in for that side. Now do the same on the other side. And lock it in. Okay, it's working, but I've got way too much light coming out of my splice, so I'd say that second side slipped out a bit just as I pushed the tab in. Not a problem, I'll just push that tab out again and have another go. Okay, that looks much better, and I've got a nice strong light coming out of my cable.